One of the things that I would suggest is that the funding for Social Security is reasonably regressive.
Look, Social Security is not an investment opportunity. It is an insurance policy. You're not there to make huge amounts of money. You're there to be sure, 100% sure, that when you get old, it will be there for you. You want to invest in Wall Street? Go for it. That's not what Social Security is about. And the truth is that Social Security, since its inception, we should be very proud of that. No matter whether the economy is terrible, whether it's good, never has an American received a letter from Social Security saying, sorry, you didn't get your payment this month when there's not enough money. We have paid every nickel owed to every eligible beneficiary. That is what Social Security is about.
I have introduced legislation with Elizabeth Warren and others, which really addresses the crisis. This is what it does. Right now, we have the crazy situation. Somebody makes $10 million a year. Somebody makes $160,000 a year. They both contribute the same exact money into Social Security. And what that means is if you make $1 million a year and I make $62,000 a year, we end up contributing about the same amount of money into the Social Security fund. I think that's regressive.
Well, there it is, guys. Bernie Sanders right there has been fighting, you guys know, been fighting since the 1900s, trying to get Social Security program changed in the right way, specifically referring to the amount of money that every American has to put into the Social Security fund, as he just stated, where one person can make $1 million per year and another person can make $62,000 per year. They are both putting in the same $135 per paycheck into the Social Security program. There is something wrong with that analogy. It should have never been created or done that way. However, if I play devil's advocate, Bernie Sanders has been in Congress for quite some time. And guess who created the Social Security distribution this particular way? Well, that is probably Bernie Sanders as well as his colleagues in Congress. Yes, they are the ones that created it this way. And now Bernie Sanders is trying, or has been trying, to change that for quite some time. But the good news is that as of 2025, we do have some potential $1,000 stimulus checks or Social Security boost checks that could be coming to the American people, specifically those individuals that receive Social Security. But yes, we do need to go ahead and talk about it on this particular video because it is very important to know what we have in our timeline for this particular year, as we have a new person in the White House right now, and we're going to talk about that later on in the video. But as far as right now, we need to go ahead and discuss what exactly is on the table. If you guys take a look at this right here, where we see that top Senate Democrats have been proposing what they are calling an emergency Social Security payment boost. What does this mean? Well, we can see where the introduction was led by Senator Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and other Democratic senators in the U.S. Congress on Capitol Hill earlier this year, just about a month ago on April the 3rd. You can see it says the Republican plan is, they were referring to as families are losing, billionaires are winning. And they are using this information to try and push the narrative of getting it approved, getting it passed in Congress, where they can increase or provide an emergency Social Security payment to the American people. Right here it says that the top Senate Democrats are planning to unveil legislation that would provide an emergency $200 monthly increase in Social Security benefits through the end of this year, according to the latest reports. Now, why is this important? Well, because we have been talking about this for quite some time. You guys already know a lot of people have pretty much lost their confidence in the American system, as well as their confidence in the presidency, as well as their confidence in Congress. But we do know that the Democrats are still fighting to make these changes. They have been fighting since President Biden, since President Obama, since President Bush, for a very long time. Specifically, the top leader, referring to Bernie Sanders, he has been calling and pushing for this change for a very long time. And we actually thought that we were going to get it during the Biden administration, because that was one thing that he ran on during his campaign trail. However, he fell short, just like the rest of the presidents, just like the rest of Congress. But here we are once again pushing for these particular changes. Right here, it says that why this matters. It is because the party's latest efforts to highlight the Trump administration's tariff policies and now scrape DOGE-driven plans for service reductions to the popular benefits program. I have something to tell you about later on in the video. Make sure that you stay tuned. If you can still hear me right now, please type a 1 in the comment section down below. Senator Elizabeth Warren, which is the Democrat of Massachusetts, Chuck Schumer, Democrat of New York, and Ron Wyden, a Democrat of Oregon, will introduce the Social Security Emergency Inflation Relief Act, according to the latest reports. It's a brainchild of the caucus's Social Security War Room, where they are continuously fighting to increase the benefits for our Social Security individuals. Now, the Democrats, they are arguing, saying that the $200 a month increase is necessary. It is not enough, but it is necessary right now as we are going through this particular climate that we are in right now, where there are being a lot of reductions in the workforce, as well as an increase in the inflation of the amount of products and goods and services that every single American has to purchase on a daily basis. And that is why this is a necessity to increase Social Security by a minimum of $200 per month for the American people. Yes, they're saying that this is necessary to shield beneficiaries from the price increases stemming from Trump's tariff policies. The tariff policies has pretty much ruined the America right now as we know of it. A lot of people are struggling. They were already struggling prior, and they are even struggling even more because price increases have just gone up at least 50%. A box of gummy bears that I was buying from Costco for my children used to be around $8. I just looked at it the other day at the store, and now it is costing $14. This is all within a period of around 13 months or so. So yes, like I said, things have gone up at least 50%, and that is why we need to increase and offer Social Security a boost of a $200 per month or a $1,000 stimulus check. But anyways, economics have warned that levies are likely to drive inflation, and unlike back when we saw in 2022, wages were a struggle to keep up with the inflation. It is even worse right now to try and keep up with the tariff policies pushed down by the Trump administration. But the Democrats are still pushing for these efforts to increase Social Security benefits by $200 per month. So this could call for a boost in Social Security of around $1,000 checks. What do you guys think about this? Do you agree that they need to provide $1,000 checks? How would that affect you? That is the main question. If you go ahead, comment down below. Let me know how a $1,000 boost check could actually affect you and your family. I'm curious to see whether or not this could be positive for you and your families. But outside of that, we also have what's called Social Security Fairness Act. This could also boost payments for more than 3.2 million Americans. And right here, we have this article that just came out a couple of months ago in which they're still trying to find ways in which they can change the amount of money that is provided to our Social Security beneficiaries. It says that one of the former President Joe Biden's last acts while he was in office earlier this year could increase Social Security retirement benefits by over $1,000 a month for millions of Americans. Earlier this year, at the beginning of this year, on January the 5th, Biden signed what's called the Social Security Fairness Act into law, which repealed two benefit rules. The first one was the windfall elimination provision, and the second one was the government pension offset. These particular policies were put in place to prevent workers from receiving an unfair advantage by having access to both public pensions and Social Security retirement benefits. Under the WEP, workers who receive pension benefits from work where Social Security taxes were not withheld received a smaller Social Security retirement benefit. And under the GPO, individuals who have their own public pensions from jobs where they didn't pay Social Security taxes could lose access to their spouses' Social Security benefits, including deceased and ex-spouses. Well, what does that mean? It means that an estimated 3.2 million people saw smaller benefits under the WEP and the GPO. The Social Security Administration says now eligible Americans could see monthly payment increases of up to $1,190, depending on their current circumstances, according to estimates from the Congressional Budget Office, or better known as the CBO. Now, what Congress saw in passage of the government pension offset rule that was back in 1977 was that public employees getting that public non-covered pension were being treated better than people whose work activity was under Social Security. And that is saying that, look, those who work for Social Security Administration for over 30 years and now runs a retirement planning consultant agency tells CNBC that that is the current state. It was much better back then. So why is that? Well, we need to go ahead and try to fix that. And that is why they are trying to make these particular changes in the Fairness Act. With the windfall provision, your benefits were never reduced to zero. You always got something, according to this particular article. But with the government pension offset, it was possible for somebody to receive no benefits based on their spouses or their ex-spouses or their deceased spouse's work record. That should never be the case, because if that was your spouse, you were particularly a team in your household. And now, just because of your spouse, because they are deceased or they have died or they are no longer married to you, they are removing that benefit that you were depending on throughout your retirement. That is not right. That is not fair, which is why they created the Social Security Fairness Act, to make things right for the American people if they were in that particular situation. So now they are trying to retrace and retract that law and make it fair for all Americans, in which they believe that providing more than $1,000 checks per month could make the difference. It could change things and make things a little bit fair, if you will. That is exactly why this has not been fair, and that is why they have created this new Fairness Act to make things right, which means that providing an additional boost of around $1,000 or more per month to Social Security beneficiaries is the best thing to do. This is the fair thing to do, as individuals have been cut short. They are the only ones that are being done wrong. When you compare Social Security beneficiaries to, let's say, millionaires out there or the billionaires, they are the ones that are continuously getting increases in the amount of money that they receive, increases in the amount of benefits that they receive, and then the Social Security beneficiaries are the ones that are falling short. Well, that is why this Fairness Act wants to change that. It wants to reverse it. It wants to retract things and make things a little bit better for the ones who need it the most. However, critics of the Social Security Fairness Act say that increasing benefits for millions of Americans could accelerate Social Security insolvency. As of 2024 estimates, the SSA will only be able to continue delivering benefits at a full capacity through the year of 2035 before accounting for increased benefits under the SSFA. What does that mean, guys? It means that we only have 10 more years before it runs out of money. Social Security Trust Fund will run out of money altogether. What does that mean for those individuals that are still relying on benefits after that 2035 deadline? Well, so far from what we know, it will fall short unless they do something about it. That is the problem. That is why they are introducing the Social Security Fairness Act, to make things better, to retract things, to make eligible beneficiaries who are already collecting Social Security benefits so that it can continue on. We do not want that benefit to actually stop. As you can see, it says that the change for this Fairness Act mostly impacts public employees like teachers, firefighters, and law enforcement officers, but not all are eligible for the additional benefits. Only workers who receive a pension based on work not covered by Social Security may see a larger benefit, according to the Social Security Administration Office. And they're saying that if they started claiming their Social Security benefits at a reduced rate, they will soon see their monthly payments increase and receive back payments to January of 2024 at a higher monthly rate, higher stimulus checks, higher Social Security checks. If they haven't yet applied for Social Security benefits, when they do, they will qualify for the full amount that they are entitled to. Alternatively, a public worker who has their own government pension, but whose spouse worked a job covered by Social Security, will now be able to access their spouse's or their ex-spouse's benefits as well. Individuals can claim 50% of their spouse's Social Security benefit once the spouse is of qualifying age if that amount is higher than their own retirement benefit. And when a spouse dies, the surviving spouse at a full retirement age can claim 100% of their spouse's benefits now, even if the surviving spouse has their own government pension. Do you guys agree with this? I do. I believe that is the right thing. I believe that it should actually be even more, but at a minimum, they should be able to claim their spouse's benefits because, like I said, that is what they were expecting. That is how they calculated things over the 30 plus years that they were in the workforce. And now to have that taken away because of some technicality, that is wrong. But what do you guys think about this? Do you think that that is exactly what should happen? Do you think that the current administration should do something about it to make sure that this goes into effect, to make sure that this boost is retracted back to January of 2024 to make back payments to provide to Social Security beneficiaries? Let me know down below in the comment section. I'm curious to see what you think about it. And last but not least, a lot of people have been saying online and in the blogs that the current president, Donald Trump, wants to decrease the amount of Social Security benefits and Medicare. Well, I want to come to you right now and provide some evidence and some proof of information to tell you that that is incorrect. Take a look at this right here on the whitehouse.gov's website, coming directly from the White House, which is the Trump administration. And it says that here is the fact check. President Trump will always protect Social Security and Medicare. This article was put out on March the 11th, 2025. It says that the Trump administration will not cut Social Security or Medicare or Medicaid benefits. President Trump himself has said it over and over and over again. I wish I had the video clip to share with you right now, but I don't. But anyways, in addition to what Trump has stated, we also have what Elon Musk, which is the second president right now, and what he has stated as well. Elon Musk didn't say that either, according to this particular press, that the press is lying once again about what Elon or Trump has stated. Here is the direct quote from Elon Musk himself. The waste and fraud in entitlement spending, which is most of the federal spending, is entitlements. So that's like the big one to eliminate. That's the sort of $500 billion, maybe $600 to $700 billion a year. Now, what Elon Musk is saying right here, not to get rid of the entitlement program such as Social Security, but to get rid of the waste and fraud within the entitlement program. Talking about those individuals that are taking advantage of the system. For example, those individuals that are listed as being 110 years old that are still receiving Social Security payments. That is the fraud that Elon Musk is talking about. There are a lot of people that are over the age of 100 all the way up to 200 years old that are still receiving Social Security payments. He wants to reduce that or get rid of it. And that is what he is referring to as waste and fraud. So anyways, I just wanted to at least give you that information. The Trump administration is not wanting to get rid of Social Security, but we do need to get them on board in which they want to increase the Social Security benefits and the monthly payments. So anyways, guys, that is what we have on the table right now. We do have a potential boost of Social Security payments going out of at least $1,000 per month. It could be as much as $1,192 per month. But right now, the Democrats are still fighting. Obviously, they have an uphill battle, battling the Republicans in order to get this thing done. But again, at least we have Trump on the right side, not wanting to reduce benefits, but we need him on the flip side in order to want to increase the benefits. But I would love to get your thoughts on this, so please take the time to comment down below in the comment section. Also, if you like this video, please let me know. I will continue to do more content like this. If I need to switch things up a little bit, let me know that as well. I am up for any type of advice or comments or suggestions as I make a comeback to YouTube. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Outside of all that, I will see you on the next video.